What's up, gang? Your trainer, Joe Stones. We're back in the gym with you. Today, I'm gonna show you how I perform and teach my clients to perform the face pull. The face pull is an excellent strength exercise for our rotator cuffs. We have a ton of mobility drills on this platform to help you if you suffer from bad posture or if you're sitting for long periods of time. But after performing those drills, you wanna go ahead and do your face pull to add a bit of strength to help pull those shoulders back and keep those muscles strong. This is also probably one of the most common exercises that I see performed incorrectly in the gym. So we're gonna go over some of those mistakes and how you wanna correct that so when you're performing the face pull, you're making those rotator cuffs work, you're getting the absolute most out of the exercise, and you're gonna start seeing that you're gonna have a lot better posture, a lot of better stability and strength into those rotator cuffs when you're performing your other exercises in the gym. So let's get after it. All right, so we have our rope queued up on our cable machine. So you're gonna line this up about shoulder or head level. What we're gonna do is grab the ends of the rope, palms facing in and your thumbs up. So as you step back, you wanna get the weight off of the rack. And as we're performing the exercise, we're gonna work on bringing the end of the cable here where the rope meets it to your forehead. So as I'm pulling, I'm thinking of my elbows doing the leading. I'm keeping my palms facing in with my thumb up. The elbow comes back and I'm trying to finish at a 90-degree angle when I'm flexing my shoulder blades. I'm also focusing on going very slow through the negative portion of the exercise. I'm not allowing my hips to swing and sway. I'm keeping my spine and my chin and chest up, keeping a very neutral core, and just focusing on time under tension, going very slow in both directions of the exercise. So now that we have the mechanics of how to perform the face pull, here's a few of the mistakes that I commonly see in the gym. So the number one is actually starting down low with your feet. Clients will like to stagger their stance and their feet and then go into their face pull. But the problem with this is there's always gonna be one side that's gonna be pulling a little bit more than the other. It causes us to rock a little bit. We're not as stable through our spine. It's very important that we stay very balanced and very even and symmetrical when we're performing this exercise. And it all starts from our base. So rather than staggering that stance, you're gonna stand with both feet very even and together and push both knees back and stand tall like a soldier. That's gonna be your base, and that's the first mistake we're gonna fix. One reason why a lot of clients will stagger their stance is because they're going too heavy and they feel like when they're standing even, they're being pulled in. If you have to stagger your stance because it's so heavy, then that's a good sign that we need to lighten the load. So now that we have a good base with our feet, that leads to the mistake that I see next, which is a lot of rocking through the hips to get the weight back, letting our hips sink back and then underneath, and having our spine kind of wave and using that momentum. And again, that's usually a case when we're going too heavy. Once our feet are planted, they're anchored there, and then we're gonna tuck our tailbone and keep our glutes very tight and our knees pushed back. So everything in my legs and my hips is very secure. It's a tree trunk. We're gonna keep that rooted into the floor. We're gonna pull those hands back and allow those muscles in the rotator cuffs to do all the work while our hips and our feet are planted into the floor. All right, so the next mistake that we're gonna fix is when you're pulling the weight back, you're not creating a 90-degree angle at your arm and your elbow when you're pulling. When that happens, it looks sort of like this, where you're kind of pulling the thumb back towards your shoulder and your elbow is bent a whole lot. The best cue to make sure that that arm's going at a 90-degree angle is, again, aiming the end of our rope here to your top of your forehead. So now that we fix the angle of our elbow as we pull it back, the final portion is your hand placement. We want to take our thumbs and turn them up. We're gonna let our thumb lead back. So when we're pulling back, we're not turning our wrists in, we're turning our wrists open and out, letting my thumb lead as I'm bringing this toward my forehead. Again, my elbow's going back, I'm creating my 90-degree angle. My knees are pushed back, my hips are square. I'm focusing on just letting those elbows come back. My wrist is in, my thumb is up. This is the mistake we see here, is as you see, I'm kind of curling my wrist in. And again, that becomes a lot of forearms and bicep and a little bit into the back of our shoulder. We don't want to pull it back like you're flexing your muscles. It's so fun to flex our muscles, but we don't want to do it that way. We want to open up our wrist, let the thumb come back. So again, we turn off these forearm muscles and our bicep muscles, and again, allow those rotator cuffs to come back. If you're just not quite getting the form and fixing these mistakes that we're seeing, maybe using the rope and the cable machine just isn't where we're at yet, and that's okay. We want to work on the mechanics, so I'm going to show you a way to regress down a little bit by just using a resistance band queued up on an anchor point like we have here. Something very light and manageable. Feed your hands in between so it's behind the wrist. Step back so there's a little bit of tension. Keep your hands open like you're telling someone to stop. Feet nice and square. our spine up, our hips are tucked and strong. From here, we're gonna pull the band over the top of the head so we get used to pulling those elbows back. As I'm doing so, I'm taking my thumb and I'm turning my thumb back as well to get used to that. I'm pausing and holding it for a second, thinking about being a soldier. My posture's high, and I'm slowly resisting as I straighten my arms. Even if you are very good at these and very strong at them, still even just doing this with a resistance band to work on your mechanics, you help you break down the pieces and the parts to the exercise, and then you'll be able to get back to using the cable machine. Hopefully this helped you improve your face pull by correcting some of the common mistakes we all do. If you're not too sure on how to perform any exercise in the gym, send us a message, an email, a DM, and ask your trainer here, Joe, about how you can improve some of the exercises that you're looking to do, and maybe it can be featured on our next video. Get after it.